I know who God says I am, where He says I am, what He says I am.
A family of three, tight-knit family, Mary, Martha, and Lazarus. And in fact, the Bible calls Lazarus the one whom Jesus loved. I mean, they were tight with Jesus. They had this thing going on between them and Jesus. I mean, they would, direct message each other on Twitter. I mean, they were in the same WhatsApp, group on Twitter, on WhatsApp. And in fact, Jesus would retweet, Lazarus' tweets every now and then. They were tight. But then when Lazarus fell ill, Jesus did not show up. In fact, when Lazarus went to HDU, Jesus did not show up. When he went to ICU, Jesus did not show up. When he died, Jesus did not show up for the funeral arrangements. They call them wakes in English. See Mashakaya, they call them wakes. Jesus did not show up for any wake. Very funny. Mashakaya seems authentic. And then he dies, and then he's buried rather. And Jesus did not show up for the burial. Then Jesus shows up 4 days after the burial. Somebody say Makatas. How can you call yourself my friend and you can't show up even for my burial? We said, you know what? When God is late, because Jesus showed up late, when God is late, we must understand several things. When God seems late, we must never allow our faith to remain stuck in what we thought God would do for us. We must never allow our faith to remain stuck. We must never allow our faith to be limited by those things that we hoped God will do for us. And by Jesus raising Lazarus from the dead, he was sending a powerful message that, hey, even when I seem late and things move from bad to worse, I have so much power that can go beyond where your faith has reached and get to your situation and bring it back. Because when Jesus said, Lazarus, I tell you, so many things happened. The worm that had eaten, Lazarus' flesh that had sneaked out of the grave and had been eaten by a rat, which had been, eaten by a snake. The snake had been eaten by a cat. When Jesus said, Lazarus, the cat, had to give up the portion of the snake it had eaten. And the snake had to give up the rat. And the rat had to rush back and deliver the worm. And the worm had to rush back and deliver the flesh it had eaten from Lazarus. I don't know where your situation has gotten to.
I know who God says I am, where He says I am, what He says